Next up is our freshman, Catherine Cuvalier. Catherine, like I just said, is a freshman, and she's had a wonderful freshman year. She was a state qualifier. She also made it to the final round of state and in program oral interpretation this year as a freshman. And she also qualified to nationals. And she also placed second in the state of Ohio with this POI. And she's on her way to NITOC with Cam during Mother's Day in Minnesota. Catherine.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. The cyclone set the house down gently, very gently, for a cyclone. In the midst of the country of marvelous beauty, there were lovely patches of greensward all about, with stately trees bearing rich and luscious fruits. A little way off was a small brook, rushing and sparkling along between the green banks, and murmuring in a voice very grateful for a little girl who had lived so long on the dry and gray prairies. Judy Garland once said, "We cast away priceless time and dreams, born of imagination, fed upon illusion, and put to death by reality." In 2017, with the world fixated and disgusted by sex harassment allegations by some of the biggest actors and actresses in Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K., Dustin Hoffman, it is worth remembering that this intolerable behavior has been tolerated in showbiz as long as there's been bright lights. Even decades ago, Judy Garland, one of the most world-famous actresses, was groped and harassed repeatedly by Louis B. Mayer, the famed producer and co-founder of Metro-Goldwyn Studios. But that's not the only damage done to the Wizard of Oz star. When it comes to abuse, it's not just the casting on the couch. It's the producer or producers who tell Judy Garland that she isn't pretty enough. She isn't thin enough. So today, I'll be reading a program titled Beyond the Rainbow with post-titled property known as Garland and The Wizard of Oz by Frank Albone. The tragic final months of Judy Garland's life. Articles from the New York Times and music from the musical The Wizard of Oz. Because Judy Garland was enough. More than enough. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Toto didn't really care whether he was in Kansas or the land of Oz, so as long as Dorothy was with him. But he knew the little girl was unhappy, and that made him unhappy too. I made my debut in the production of 1782 back home in the Grand Rapids where I was born. A whole family performed in vaudeville between the movies. My mother always picked my songs. My mother had no talent whatsoever. She was hideous, wicked woman. I was just a child, but that never mattered if I was sick or something and I don't want to go out on stage. She didn't care. She would just say, "Get out there and sing or I'll wrap you around that bedpost and break you off short." Wonderful powers those silver shoes have gave her. I can still make her my slave, for she does not know how. Joan Crawford had nothing on her, believe me. The one nice thing I can say about my mother is she taught me not to be cruel to my own children. I should be grateful for that, I suppose. We dare not harm this little girl, for she is protected by the power of good, and that is greater than the power of evil. All we can do is carry her to the Wicked Witch's castle and leave her there. They had us working days and nights on end. You know, they'd give us these pills to keep us on our feet long after we were exhausted. We could work those 72 hours in a row, and half of the time we were hanging from the ceiling. That was just the way of life for us. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. So, you see, I am a hopeless case. My entire career, people have been trying to find ways to camouflage me and make me pretty. They put rubber pieces in my nose, and they capped my crooked teeth and changed my hairline and my color. They put shoulder pads here and here, and when I did my TV show, they even built me a rear end. You know, I have $1 million legs, but somewhere in this trunk, somewhere, I have a $600,000 ass. That accounts for it in the civilized countries. I do believe there are no witches, no sorceresses left. But you see, and the land of Oz has never been civilized, for we are cut off from the rest of the world. Therefore, we still have witches and wizards among us. You have no ideas of the power of the studios had back then. They told you how to dress, how to walk, how to speak, what to eat. If Mr. Mayor didn't like your behavior, oh, he'd fine you. He'd sell you like cattle. He'd put you in a sanitarium. Or even worse, he'd make you work with Buzzardy Burke. You know, Ava Garland used to tell me the story that we were the only merchandise that got to leave the store that night. But back then, the one of Louis B was the law. And you know, he did make great pictures. But I remember our meetings in his office always ended with the same routine. So, Judy, you little hunchback. He always called me hunchback. So, Judy, you sing from the heart. And he would stick his hand on my breast to show me where my heart was. I mean, I often thought I was lucky that I didn't have to sing with another part of my anatomy. He made me a star. Or, what do they call it now? A living what? A living legend? That sounds right. A living legend! But maybe. And I would have believed it more if MGM hadn't destroyed all my confidence. I mean, it's any wonder I ended up in the nut house. My first. You always remember your first. I mean, I was a movie star after all. It was a very expensive place. But the entire time I was there, my own mother only called me once. Wicked old witch. You know, my mother died right after my daughter Lorena was born, but I was done with her by then. Good riddance. When trouble smelled like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Bless your dear heart, your silver shoes have wonderful powers, and one of the most curious things about them is that they can carry you any place in the world in 3 steps. All you have to do is knock your heels together 3 times and command those shoes to carry you anywhere in the world you wish to go. Dorothy clicked her heels 3 times together, saying, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Somewhere over Judy. My fans. Ever. They are my only